TV, it's been a while. I know I keep saying this, but we're going to try to stick to this. We have some editing help.
So yes,
we're going to be
hopefully
good.
We can get it on a weekly schedule.
So, Mike, you know, in the last few weeks, we've obviously been, you more so than me, mourning the loss of Steve Jobs.
Okay.
And he's a great man. There's no doubt about it. But you know me and books. I read a lot of books. I read them cover to cover.
Yes, you.
And because of that, I downloaded a 500-page book. 500 pages, is it? So
Ruben is kidding. So the last book that he couldn't finish was Gary Vaynerchuk's 80-page book.
No disrespect, Gary.
It was
good book.
It was
good
just
book
too
from what
deep.
I read, the little bit I read. But Steve Jobs, you bought the hardcover, and is it like what?
Right. I bought the hardcover. It's a 500+ page book.
Right.
I was carrying it around for a week.
Right.
And going through it, but it's like.
It's pretty big.
It's a big book, and this is the future. So
and I didn't even
mobile.
think about buying a hardcover. I just went straight to buying the application on Kindle.
It's funny.
You didn't buy it on Kindle. You bought it.
You said, I said, oh, I bought the actual book. You're like, really? Why would you do that?
I know.
No, but that's how much things have changed.
And
your
why?
first thing is to buy the ebook.
Which ironically is because of him, because of Steve Jobs, that we're now consuming. We're doing it via the iBooks. I'm doing it on a Kindle. I'm reading it from the iPad, but also switching to this if I happen to be in the train. It's scrunched up.
And what's great about these is that they remember your place, whether it's in the on the phone or the mobile, or if you want to have a desktop reader, you would know where you were.
And on top of that, besides reading and consuming it in this manner, which he obviously wanted us to, right? You are doing audio as well.
Right, and then I'm like, all right, well,
that's not enough.
I have the other.
He has the hardcover.
I have the other two versions.
Yeah.
I may as well get the audio version.
Right.
And what would be really cool, as it stands right now, you have to choose: am I going to read it and have it synced up like that, or am I going to listen to it? What would be cool is if you could.
Or am I going to say I have it and just make people think I read it
and not read it? But what would be nice is that if there was some awareness while you're listening to the audio, and maybe you listen to 10 pages worth, the next time you pick up the digital version, it would be on page 20 or whatever. Yeah.
And just to give you an idea of what we're talking about, I can bookmark it here in the iPad, and then I can pick up from where I read it on the Android.
On the Android.
Actually, I haven't started yet.
And it would be cool to have the third
audio version
style of bookmarking, which is also syncing up on the audio version.
Well, either way, I think Steve Jobs would be proud. We're consuming content the way he wanted to. But let us know how if you actually picked up this book, number one. Number two, how you're reading it. Are you reading it via an app or a hardcover or audio? Would be interesting to see. And I think that's it. We'll see you next week. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you next time. Take care.